Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to part 16 of my Claude Chabrol season. And today we're going to look at his 1986 film Inspector Lavardin, starring Jean Poiret and Jean-Claude Debrier. This is the kind of sequel to Cop au Van, starring the same detective, Inspector Lavardin, and his particularly unusual methods. This is part of an Artificial Eye 3-film box set. There's 2 volumes on DVD. Thanks to subscriber Stephen S, who told me about a Cohen Media Region A release on Blu-ray of Cop au Van, Inspector Lavardin, and a couple of episodes of the TV show spin-off, which I haven't ordered yet, but I'm sure at some point I'll upgrade to Blu-ray, especially after seeing the second film. This is another Claude Chabrol small town politics, small town satire, which comes across initially as kind of light confection, but has a lot of darker undertones, and it does kind of get a bit more serious and brutal later in the film. The general setup is there's a kind of a moral head of the town who the townspeople come to get a controversial theatre production banned in their town, the title of which is My Father Who Farts in Heaven. We'll only see brief glimpses of the type of show it will be, and he lives in this rather large country house with his wife, his brother-in-law, and his stepdaughter, and he is then found on the beach, naked, dead, with the word pig written on his back. And Inspector Lavardin, played by Jean Poiret, is brought in to investigate. It turns out that his old flame is actually the widow, a character called Helene, which will be no surprise to people who are familiar with Claude Chabrol. Quite a lot of his leading ladies were called Helene, or leading lady characters were called Helene. And then we have the uncle who paints eyeballs as a hobby. Again, we're still getting that Chabrol voyeurism theme, which will come later in the film as well. And the daughter is prim and proper, but seeing this as Chabrol, everybody has secrets, everybody in the family has secrets. I'm not going to go into spoilers for this film, you're going to have to watch it and enjoy it yourself, but needless to say, everybody's got secrets. So even the marriage is a bit of a strange setup, because Helene was previously married to Pierre, and the uncle, who is gay, was originally married to a woman who then went on a boat with Pierre and disappeared. So the uncle's wife and the wife's first husband pretty much became an item, but they disappeared on a boating accident, leaving them both widowed and then Helene married Raoul, who was Pierre's best friend. If you can follow that. There are, and as Inspector Lavardin kind of meets people in the town, there's a shady nightclub owner, there's the stage manager for the theatre group, who might be a drug dealer and a blackmailer. All these things come out in the wash, as they say. There's secret videotapes, which again, it's the voyeurism through line that kind of goes through quite a lot of Chabrol's work. Don't worry, all you Inspector Lavardin fans, there is a scene with him having fried eggs and paprika, as in Cop of Van. And again, his methods are quite unusual. At one point he says to a character that if he doesn't tell him the truth, he'll tear out his eyeballs and use them and wear them as earrings. He has a fairly slapdash approach to evidence and characters, and again, it's an absolute blast, this film. It's such a light confection. It's about 100 minutes long and it absolutely flies by. But again, it's kind of subversive. I mean, the final reveal of what actually happened and how Raoul's character was murdered is actually quite brutal. And the way Chabrol does it is not funny in any way, shape or form. And also, as the evidence comes out, Inspector Lavardin is kind of left with a moral choice to make. And we, the audience, is also left with that same moral choice, and is the inspector in the right or is he in the wrong? So for a film that is such a hoot, it does actually have a kind of brutal moments and a kind of moral dilemma at the end. But it's wrapped up with, such fun. The take-home message is, as one of the characters say, the world is absurd. And you can't help but think Chabrol had his tongue in his cheek throughout the whole thing. Very much like Cop of Van, but Cop of Van's a bit more serious than Inspector Lavardin. But I think I would probably prefer Inspector Lavardin, because, again with Chabrol, it takes its time to kind of introduce the characters, but then once it gets going, it's like a small French runaway train. Again, the character who paints the eyeballs, it's a really unusual little thing, and it's just wonderful. It's beautifully played. Again, Jean Poirot as Lavardin just kind of steals the show. The provincial cop that helps him out, he always calls him Watson. The film is an absolute delight and one that I would highly recommend. It's an absolute blast. So please let me know in the comments below if you've seen Inspector Lavardin and what you thought of it. And hopefully we'll see you again for part 17 of the Chabrol season. We're getting through them very slowly, but we'll get there. So thanks very much for watching. That was Inspector Lavardin from 1986. And hopefully we'll see you again. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.